Okay, in this video, I'm going to be discussing the tangible assets purchased and depreciation. So 2.1 and 2.1.3. Okay, so they tell us that yes, we purchased some tangible assets, and can we calculate the value of that? So let's go look at our information. And we see they tell us no vehicles purchased, no equipment purchased, but we can see that land and buildings has increased. So this is really, this is really easy to calculate. Where's my pen? Here it is. Okay, so to calculate what was the value of our purchase, we are just going to subtract both amounts, and that should give you how much we purchased. Because it is land and buildings, there's usually no depreciation, so if we just subtract both, we should be able to calculate that, and I think the amount you will get is 398,860. So this is your answer for 2.1.2. That is the amount of assets purchased. Okay, so that's it. Where was it? Right here. That's the answer for 2.1.2. So we just subtract both, and it's pretty easy. So I'm just gonna write the answer because we know how we got that. Then we're moving on to 2.1.3, and this is the depreciation question. And honestly, depreciation here is very, very easy. So first, we're going to calculate the depreciation on equipment. And if we look at equipment, we're given the equipment at carrying value at the beginning and at the end of the year, and they tell us that no equipment was sold or purchased during the year. So once again, to calculate the depreciation on equipment, we're just going to subtract both. We're going to say 244,640, subtract 188,640, and that should give us our depreciation amount of 56,000, I think, and that's it. So the depreciation on equipment is 56,000, and that's 3 marks. Then we're going to move on to the depreciation on vehicles, and this is only a little different because we had a sale. So it tells us here, here's our carrying values at the beginning, at the end, and it tells us that a vehicle was sold at book value for 24,000 Rand cash, and there were no purchases. Now, because there were no purchases, it's pretty simple. So this is the way I calculate it. Once again, and I always remind you that there are different ways to do it. Just make sure you get the final amount. So what I do is I take the amount at the beginning of the year, and because this is book value, I'm just going to subtract this minus, and then I also subtract the amount at the end of the year, that amount, and that's how I calculate the depreciation on vehicles. It should be 68,280. So that's just how I calculate it. If you have another way that works, that's perfectly fine, and I think it was pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So that's how we calculated tangible assets purchased as well as equipment and vehicles. In the next video, we're going to move on to 2.1.4.